Hello, wizards. How are you doing today? Today, I want to share with you about the spiritual resignation phase. When we are going through the spiritual awakening journey, there will be a phase where we will start to experience dispassion towards material gains, right? So you might be noticing that you're not interested in material gains anymore, material rewards anymore. The things that previously used to motivate you was bringing you clarity, used to bring you clarity about what you want to do, used to inspire you to move forward in your life. Now you are not interested in them. And there's a lot of dispassion going on. You see, this is what the spiritual resignation phase feels like. I'm going to share with you today what is this spiritual resignation phase? What is the purpose of this phase? And how this phase is actually not the end of your motivation. Because if you're going through this phase, you're probably feeling a little bit freaked out. You're probably feeling that, oh my God, I'm not motivated by anything anymore. Am I going to be this way? Is nothing about life ever going to motivate me? Then how am I going to live life? What will be my, you know, motivational core through which I will move forward in life? How is it all going to work out? So don't freak out, because I have gone through the same thing and I have thought the exact same things, and it turned out differently. It turned out quite amazingly, actually, which I'm going to share with you. So what is the spiritual resignation phase? Why does it happen? The reason we experience the spiritual resignation phase is when we start ascending to higher stages of consciousness, we literally lose our old version. We start evolving towards our higher version. And this is the entire ascension journey. You keep shedding your old version, your old paradigm, your old belief system, your old way of operating, your old energetic structure, and you arrive at a higher stage of consciousness. You see? And think of it like operating, you're not operating, think of it like upgrading an operating system. You see, like you always upgrade your operating system in your computer, in your phones, in your devices, apps and stuff. What you actually doing, what when you're upgrading an operating system, is you are letting go of the old version and you are taking on board the new version. That is what is going on. Similarly, the ascension journey is like this. You are upgrading constantly. You are shedding skin. You are letting go of the old version. You're arriving at your more upgraded, high vibrational version. Now, with that upgrade comes a lot of change, right? And one of the changes that comes along with any growth is moving out of what used to be our previous reward system and moving forward into something which I would call a more elevated reward system. It's not that the reward system for you is entirely falling away. It's not happening. It's not happening. I'm going to share with you why that is. What is happening is you are moving to a more elevated reward system because you are ascending to higher stages of consciousness. What is right now happening is you are in the middle. You are not here, you're not there yet. In the middle of the upgrade, you are sitting and you are freaking out because you're in the middle of an upgrade. Think of it like when you're upgrading a operating system. Between the upgrading process, you have the blue screen, right, which says, it's being upgraded. Don't touch your computer, don't touch your screen, don't do anything because it's upgrading. So this is what's happening. You're in the middle of an upgrade. So a lot of things are not clear. Things are going to get more clear soon enough, right? Now, as I was talking about the reward system, I said, or I shared with you that you are shifting to a more elevated reward system. What do I mean by that? What I mean is, think about this. Think about when you were a kid. When you were a kid, what were your reward systems like? Okay. Let's say when you were a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old. Okay. Simple reward systems were there which you used to operate in life. I remember for myself, stuff like vacation was very, very big reward. Vacation, going on holidays, watching cartoons, playing games, all this stuff, food, candies, stuff like that. Big reward for a kid, isn't it? Things that used to move forward in life. One another thing, about me, I remember, was carnivals and festivals and stuff. I used to think that, I used to wait for carnivals and festivals for my parents to, bring me to such places, because I used to enjoy them a lot. And I used to feel like that is my meaning of life. I live for that stuff. How crazy that is, right? But what happens when we start growing up? The reward system starts changing, right? Think of it like there was a time where there were so many toys were the big thing, or cartoons were the big thing. But when you were an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old, you started feeling what, like, these toys, this stuff, all these things are boring. They're not interesting. They don't do it for me anymore. So you started shifting to video games, maybe, computer games, whatever, TV video games and stuff, which we all did in a sense. And what happened? You're noticing like, yes, this is my reward, So now your parents got an opportunity to motivate you to study and stuff. If they can just they just tell you that, what, if you study, if you uh, study for this exam and get good grades, I'm going to buy you this video game. And that used to motivate you. That was your reward system. So when you were like 15 or 16 or something, you started noticing that now TV video games don't interest you anymore. Maybe that reward system shifted again. You notice that, what, there are certain other things that are more motivating to me. Maybe I am now more interested in the learning of what is happening and getting good grades, and becoming something, achieving something, is another reward that actually motivates me. My parents don't need to buy me games and tempt me with stuff anymore, because I have already a bigger reward set in place that is motivating me. So what is happening? Essentially what is happening is growth is happening, and with growth comes shifting of rewards. You shift to more and more elevated reward system. That is what is happening, right? And that keeps happening. That is the nature of life. The more you grow, the more your rewards shift. Now that you have grown a lot, now that you are spiritually ascending to a higher stage of consciousness, an entirely different structure of existence, way of operating in reality, leaving your entire old version, your third density version, all that was part of the reward system of the third density reality is shifting to fourth density reward system, which is very different. Okay? And that is what is happening. That is why you are feeling so much dispassion for the material life, feeling like I'm not interested in the material gains anymore. You have noticed probably, money don't inspire you as much as it used to. Fame and the other things. It could be anything. Does not matter. I'm not saying money is not important or fame is not valuable. That's not the point. The point is, probably you already understand, they are not the same anymore as it used to be, right? Now what is going on? The reason we freak out is because, see, when we shifted from the different reward system, which we all did, we did not freak out much then. Why are we freaking out now? Because not a lot of people around us are shifting. That is what is happening. You see, because when you are shifting like from a cartoon to a video game to, a career reward, other people more or less were doing the same thing too along with you, because they were also growing in terms of third density growth, as it most often happens. But now as your spiritual is ascending, which is what is happening, not a lot of people around you are going through the same thing, you see. And that is why there's a disconnect. So when you look around, you find your old friends, your old acquaintances, your family, your relatives, everybody almost around your circle, they are still motivated by the cartoons and the video games and the similar goals that used to be. And you're like, I'm not interested in cartoon anymore. I'm not interested in video games anymore. Something is wrong with me. How am I going to live my life? Because apparently that is all that there is. You look around in the material third density world, and it seems to be the entire world is functioning from those reward system. And you're like, something is wrong with me, because I'm not motivated by the stuff other people are motivated with. No, there is nothing wrong with you. The world has to catch up with you. That is what has happened. You have really moved forward in the race. That is what has happened. You get me, right? It's like you started the race along with everybody else. Now you started accelerating like crazy. You started learning the lessons of life before other people learned. You went through so much suffering. You transmuted that suffering. You alchemized, all those dark experiences into spiritual growth. You let go of your old version, arrived at your new version. Well, all of that means you have moved forward in life in terms of your evolution. The world has to catch up with you. And that is what is happening. You see, does it make sense? Right? That is why you feel that I'm not motivated by the same stuff as other people are. And that is absolutely natural. That is absolutely natural. This is another phase of the spiritual awakening journey. This is another, uh, step in the journey where we will all arrive at. Every time, even you move to even higher stages of consciousness, you will feel resigned to certain rewards again, because that is how growth happens, right? So don't feel freaked out. Don't feel freaked out. I know you feel freaked out. I felt freaked out, so I know that. How do you navigate through the situation? Number one, realize and contemplate and reflect on what I just shared with you, and see how it actually is the truth. That is exactly what is going on. It's part of your growth. It is not unnatural. It is not only something you are experiencing. A lot of us are experiencing. It's just that we are not near to you in your physical vicinity. That's why it feels so weird, right? Just think, if all the spiritual people who are going through this ascension phase, they were just around you, and everybody is just sharing that, what, I'm not feeling interested in the material world, you will not feel as freaked out. You'll be like, yeah, this is part of the journey. Everybody's going through it. Just because other people around you are not going through it, you feel alone, you feel secluded and isolated. You see? And that is what is going on. Recently, I made a video on the isolation that we experience and the loneliness we experience in the spiritual awakening journey, and the purpose of that. Maybe I'll link it up in the card section. Do find it and watch that. It might help you if you're going through some of those challenges, right? So now that I have shared with you why the spiritual resignation happened, let me share with you just a little bit about how it actually shifts. You see, what is happening is you are growing, and soon enough the fourth density and the higher reward system will start coming on board. And let me give you a glimpse of it. That is, it will feel more like alignment. It will feel, the reward will be more like about your inner harmony. It will be about your bliss, your alignment with your life purpose. All that you feel that you are resigned about is the universe telling you, your inner guidance telling you, your higher self telling you the things that you need to come out of, let go of, so that you can come in alignment with your purpose. It's just direction. You see, you need to let go of your toys so that you can move forward in your journey. So it's a good thing. Okay, so now that I've shared with you, if you want to know and explore more in depth about this fourth density stage of consciousness, which is what I call the wizard stage of consciousness, which we are all moving forward towards, then I'm hosting a free 90 minutes masterclass, a Zoom training session where I will share with you all about what wizard consciousness is, how you can ascend to this stage of consciousness harmoniously, how you can connect with your divine guidance system through which your higher self speaks to you 24/7, so that you can align with your highest timeline, your life purpose timeline, and allow all the abundance and spiritual growth to flow into your life. If you want to know about it, sign up for my upcoming masterclass, probably happening on this Saturday. The link to my masterclass sign up page is in the description of my YouTube video. Open the link and sign up immediately, because in the masterclass you'll get to ask me questions directly and I'll get to answer your questions directly, and it will be an amazingly awesome experience, right? Amazingly awesome experience, right? So do sign up. And very recently I made a video on the hermit phase. If you are someone who is going through the dark night of the soul and you feel that you are in the hermit phase, you are staying at home more because you are not feeling comfortable going outside, it's also a stage of the spiritual journey. Watch that video. It'll probably appear on your screen here. So have fun, and I'll see you again soon.